Whether you are talking about rolling stops or crossing a solid double line, we are all guilty of some kind of traffic violation.
We have Jessica Schindeldecker with the Fargo Police Department back with us today. Every Friday we like to check in with her, and thought this was a great topic. One of those common driving mistakes a lot of us are probably making, but you know, we don't always realize we are. But although that is what we're going to talk about, I promise. But I feel like I just want to get a quick update from you. I think you were on a couple weeks ago and there was breaking news. And yesterday, huge breaking news. We're still following it. There was a fire, an arrest made. Now you have an arson and a murder investigation. You were not the officer that was giving all the updates yesterday, but I know there may be some updates today. What can you tell us if people are wondering where Fargo Police is on this case right now?
Sure. So unfortunately yesterday Fargo Fire and Fargo Police responded to an active fire in progress up on 12th Street North in the 400 block. Once the fire was able to make entry, they did find a deceased female inside with some injuries not consistent to fire injuries. So at that point, that's when investigations came in and did further follow up on that. We were able to identify who she was and whose apartment that was, and investigations did their thing along with Metro Street Crimes. The U.S. Marshal's Office also dropped everything and helped us try to locate this person and set up a perimeter. We were able to find out where that person was. He came out and we were able to effect that arrest and do an interview, and we were able to put some information out last night. It's still obviously an active investigation. There's a lot of stuff that continues to happen after an arrest is made. So the autopsy is being performed this morning or today. So that information, I'm not sure when or if that information will be put out eventually, but we will release some information later today, such as the victim's name. The purpose on not doing that last night was just to let that next of kin, the notification had just been done prior to that press conference last night, and to let the next of kin, let that set in with them and let them notify other family members and not learn about it through the news.
I understand that. And if you do want more information, this was a story that we had team coverage on, so you can go to valleynewslive.com, and we'll be watching for the update from you guys today and throughout the next couple of days. As you said, it's still an active investigation. So I just feel like when there's breaking news like that, we just need to still kind of touch base with you. But to the much lighter topic, which affects all of us every day, you know, not murders and arson, it's common traffic violations, and you did send us some numbers and stats, and why don't we start with what you think is the most surprising when we talk about common driving mistakes?
Okay, so a lot of times when I was looking through the statistics the other day that I pulled up just for the year, not for like 5 years or anything, so what have we most commonly been citing for this year? And when I notice what those citations are, sometimes they correlate with a lot of the complaints that I see through social media and emails that come in. A lot of those common violations that we see, especially through our Traffic Tuesday posts, is people are complaining about failure to yield at left turns, such as those flashing yellow arrows, speeding, not coming to a complete stop, signals. Now, that's one thing with turn signals, is a lot of people don't realize the verbiage in the ordinance is that if that traffic turn or movement is going to affect another driver. So do you always have to use your turn signal? No. But if your movement's going to affect another driver, yes, you have to use it 100 feet prior. So when I see a lot of times drivers, and I know people who do the same thing, and it drives me nuts, is they will turn their signal on as they're making the movement, and which is that's not how it works. So you're supposed to do it prior to your movement. So as you're making that right or left turn, you don't turn it on as you're doing it. You need to turn your signal on prior to making that movement. Otherwise, you're still in violation.
And you know, I was a teen driver once, we all were, and we make those common mistakes. What are the most common mistakes you're seeing teen drivers making now?
You know, a lot of teen drivers think they're invincible or it won't happen to them. There's still a lot of distraction and distracted driving, which is really difficult to enforce, especially when a lot of times officers are able to see it and notice it, especially at the traffic lights. And if you're going the same direction, it's easier to affect that traffic stop, right? But if you see that traffic violation coming on oncoming traffic or somewhere where it's not as easy to either turn around, so that's why some of those citations are hard to issue, or those numbers aren't as high as people think. We do try to enforce it as much as we can. Also, some other common things with teens is they may not realize that their speed affects things, and their reaction time is different than us older drivers who have more experience.
Oh, interesting.
Any of the other top violations that you're seeing that you would like people just to be aware of, that it's happening too often?
Yeah, well, U-turns is something that so a lot of officers, especially out in the West District by the West Acres Mall out in South, they see that a lot happening, and those are cited when appropriate, when they can happen. So it's unlawful to make a U-turn in the city of Fargo unless there's a sign that says you may do so.
Oh, that's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jessica, thank you so much. We kind of took a lot of our time talking about yesterday's big story, but always great to have you on. So thank you so much.
Glad to be here.
Coming up on today's show, the annual Cowboy Up Ride Against Cancer is coming up soon. We have all the details right here on North Dakota Today.